This is a video on simplifying fractions, which we do with every fraction we have because it makes them a lot easier to work with. It's easier to work with smaller numbers than it is with bigger numbers. So the first thing we have to do, and I'm going to start with a pretty easy one, is find the greatest common factor of both the numerator and denominator, or just a common factor, whichever one is easiest. I always look for the greatest common factor. So for 6 and 8, the greatest common factor is 2. So we're going to divide by 2 on top and on bottom to be the number 3/4. And there's no other factor of 3 and 4 that they have in common except for 1. And if you divide by 1, you will just get the same answer. So our most simplified fraction is 3/4. On a little bigger one, like 32/48, you may not know the exact greatest common factor of this, but you may be able to find a common factor. So if you know your math facts, you know a common factor would be 8. So I would say you could start with 8, and that's going to give you 4/6. But you should be able to look at 4 and 6 and know there is one more common factor, and that's 2. So I have to simplify it down again to get 2/3. But there's no other factor of 2 and 3 that are shared. A cool one are numerator and denominators that both end in a 0, because what you can do is divide by 10, and essentially when you divide by 10, you cancel out a 0. So if I did 40 divided by 10, I would get 4, and 100 divided by 10, I would get 10. It's the same thing as canceling out 1 0, which looks kind of cool. It makes it a lot easier to work with. But be careful, because this is not quite done being simplified. There's still a factor of 4 and 10, and that's 2. So you get 2/5. If all else fails, look to see if the top number and the bottom number are even, because every time it's even, you can divide by 2, and you keep going with either divide by 2 or divide by something else until you can't divide any further.